Hi Cancer, here is a general look at your solar chart for October 2015, and I'm going to just give a mention to the new moon this month because it's quite significant for the cardinal signs. The new moon is going to be in Libra at the root of your chart, Cancer, and then we're going to have a very lively interaction between that new moon and Uranus, which is at the top or the zenith of your sun sign chart, and wherever those two are, those two areas there could be stirred up a little bit, but possibly you could get something going there, take the initiative with reorganizing things maybe, or take the initiative with family. So anything to do with the home base, anything to do with property matters, that would be a good thing to be making a fresh start with something over the coming 4 weeks, or with your eye to the future and taking the first steps now over the coming 4 weeks, because the much longer term transit of Uranus at the top of your chart is showing, and I mean this has been going on since 2011, but it is showing uncertainty at times, but also change in your general direction in life. It's showing that you're finding out, maybe through a series of revelations or a series of kind of putting yourself into situations where you allow yourself to be inspired by something which is very unfamiliar and sort of outside of your comfort zone. If you are being flexible and open-minded, then this can be quite an inspiring time. But if you are being quite closed and fearful and don't want things to change, then it can feel quite disruptive, because your unconscious mind, which will have links to the higher self, your higher self, will know that it is time for you to change in order for you to keep on or get back on the path of your purpose in this life. And it will, through a series of maybe unexpected events, or even accidents, or just things that you see with your normal everyday survival mind as going wrong. It's trying to get through to you that it is time for change, and then that puts that need into the conscious mind, sometimes in quite a sort of abrupt kind of manner, though, which you weren't expecting, because we can really go off at a tangent with our ordinary everyday survival minds. Now, if you're still with me, I just trying to get you to be aware of that, maybe from the 13th. So the new moon is on the 13th for the 4 weeks from the 13th. And then saying, okay, if I am in this long cycle of change regarding career, regarding profession, maybe experimenting a bit, maybe not making 100%. This is a decision that I want to do for the rest of my life, but I think I'll get a bit of training in that, or be reading up on this, or do it in different stages, because the transit started in 2011 and will be going on till 2019, right? And so you're likely to develop a fresh attitude regarding work, regarding, well, kind of where you're going in life, and there may be an unexpected reversal of fortune in this area. So it might be, okay, well, I'll do this course, but actually whilst you're on the course, you meet a person or some people which then show you something which you feel much better about, and much warmer about from within yourself. And life is like that, but you need to kind of go along, maybe sometimes feeling very, very like this is insecure, I don't quite know what's going to happen, in order to get far enough along the road to get the viewpoint to then see the next the next mountain range or the next valley, as it were, and then you get the gist of, oh yeah, well that is drawing me. That could be it. But yeah, I mean it can be quite confusing. This Uranian energy, particularly if it is close on to your sun, and I'll just give you that. You Cancerians born the 8th to the 13th of July, or with 17 to 20 degrees rising, going to feel the energy of Uranus this month. And there can be something that just pops up this month because of the position of the new moon. So if you take the initiative to take a step in the direction that you feel, yeah, this is okay, or even more than that, oh, I am absolutely 100% up for this, and get reorganized at home or with family, or to do with routines and schedules at home on the home base, maybe it's like that. Also with parents or members of a tribe in some way, then that next 4 weeks from the 13th would be a good time to do that, because then that would aid and abet this much longer term cycle of change in your life. Well, that's the idea anyway. And then other news, until the 24th, your attention could center around the base of operations, the same place as the moon is, because the moon and the sun are right close together, which is why it's a new moon, because we can't see the moon then. And that's the beginning of the next moon cycle, and there's one every month, or sometimes two. And you could be more just aware of property matters, or maybe the home base, or maybe members of the family, or what's going on within the family. It might be like that. It might be that you are feeling touchier, or it might be that you get kind of withdrawing into your shell a little bit more. It might be like that. It can be coming out in various ways, but you definitely should be listening to your instincts and listening to your intuition, because your general consciousness, the core of your consciousness will be going in and that little bit deeper in a more introspective kind of way. The mental focus could revolve around the same area here, and there could be correspondence or discussions about the physical space, about a location, about a property, about points on the map, about family, with neighbors, about neighbors. You could be mulling things over, though. You could be mulling things over, and you could be harking back to the past. You could be feeling emotional or nostalgic. You could be having more interaction with the parent, especially the father side, but either parent could be, related to this. And there may be communications with relations, other relations, or blasts in the past, anybody to do with your past. And it's likely to be a mentally busy time on your base of operations. So maybe you're working from home, or maybe there's just a lot going on around where you're based, whether it's your home or not. Mercury is retrograde until the 9th, though, so that does tend to slow things down. If you watch the astrology online, then you'll know Mercury retrograde means that it can work in various ways, but it generally can mean postponements or delays. It has a slowing sort of effect, but it does allow us to think something through better, to dot the I's, cross the T's, and to look at the small print. And then from the 9th, until the 9th, Venus is in the same area she's been since early June, in an area concerning money, property, possessions, and basic stuff. So overall, it means you can do okay financially, or with income, or with like treats in the pipeline, as your, others will tend to be, it just brings more ease and flow into that area there. Buying, selling, renting, leasing tends to go in your favor, and applying for funding or investments made under that transit can have proved beneficial, as long as you are sensible, don't take wild risks, etc., etc. The other thing is that you could be in cahoots with someone. Someone could be collaborating, teaming up with you concerning this area of income, property, possessions, that type of thing. their contribution. Their contribution will have been beneficial to you, but also it should be a mutual kind of a thing as well. And the other thing is that Venus can just tend to ease things materially, and opens up the path between money and other goodies and you. But also it can mean that we get a little bit more self-indulgent and sort of start splashing money around all over the place, as if. But but it also means that there can be resources that we really value, or things about a place, a place, a property, certain resources that you and somebody else together are really valuing. Then from the 9th, Venus ends that very long transit and comes back into her normal cycle of about 3 weeks, and goes into this very sociable sector of your solar chart, meeting and greeting, making connections, helping you to be articulate, helping others to like your style, helping you to hear nice things around you, and also say nice things to those that maybe you should, and you've held back perhaps. Some of you could be in exchanges with others who appreciate the way what you do, or what you're expressing in some way, and it's very, very good news for any of the artists among you as well. Media is favored, and anything to do with creative self-expression, so creative sort of thinking could be going on. And it's a very good time to negotiate, very good time to use your people skills with Venus there. Mars is in a transit of your solar communication sector, the same as Venus, so it really does fire up that area, and so takes it out of the realm of everybody being very sort of polite, or you enjoying things, into the realm of a lot kind of going off, accelerating mental processes, firing up the way you express yourself, firing up the way somebody else is expressing themselves to you. And so some of that diplomacy, either from you or to you, might go out the window, I have to admit. However, you will still have the planet diplomacy there from the 9th until early November. And so if you are scheduling something that you feel might be a bit awkward, then maybe try and do it whilst the Venus transit is going on in there. From the 9th, but Mars is going to be there a little bit longer, from the beginning of the month, firing things up, and meaning that somebody might not be backwards and coming forwards towards you in some way. It might be a good thing, though. You might think, oh, at last they're coming out with it. I've just been waiting so long to hear that. It might be like that. But Mars has got his kind of his sort of combative sort of side. And so you just have to be careful with Mars swirling around in the area of how you communicate, that you don't do the knee-jerk reaction thing and shoot from the hip and say something that you really wish you shouldn't have said. There can be more correspondence, there can be more paperwork flying around as well, for personal or business reasons, but you can be proactive and successful through education, media, correspondence, paperwork, negotiations, promotions, creative self-expression, or simply just speaking up for yourself in a more assertive way. And Jupiter's in there. Jupiter is going to be in there until next September. And so all three of them, for a while, the Venus and Mars, the faster moving planets, are going to move out of there, but Jupiter and those two are going to be in this area all together for a lot of October. And Jupiterian expansiveness will tend to support a more outgoing, upbeat, positive frame of mind. You're likely to be coming into a several-month period where meeting and greeting on a daily basis will teach you a lot, maybe through education, if you're doing a course, speaking, writing, other forms of creative self-expression as well. You're learning to master things, you're learning to achieve through that kind of airy area. And new concepts, jargons, connections, and the impact of others, that others are having on you and their culture or their perspective, is carving new landscapes on in your mind. And you early Cancerians and Cancers born from the 2nd to the 9th of July, with 11 to 17 degrees rising, will feel this energy the most this forecast period. And then Saturn, well, actually the sun moves on the 24th, so there's a brighter, less inward vibration around when the sun moves. You not feeling quite so sensitive, although your sign is known for its sensitivity, and it's a good thing too, because you pick up on things before others. But sometimes it can be a bit much, so you have to just shield yourself and protect yourself, not perhaps with a mood, or with just kind of, maybe overreacting, but maybe just sensibly, putting a shield of light around yourself. All you've got to do is imagine it. So there's a brighter, less inward vibration around, more emphasis given to children, pets, creative leisure pursuits, entertainments and the like, hobbies, pastimes, and just doing anything that you really get a kick out of, you really enjoy. You get this feeling of empowerment from it. It might even be your work, but you just get this feeling of, I can do this and I like this, and feeling rewarded because you feel, yeah. So, and then Saturn has returned to her previous position in your area of job, health. That's going to be going on until very late 2017. So, meaning that you've just, it's sometimes not 24/7, of course, but every so often you do get this sort of like, more pressure on you, more responsibility to get some tasks completed, to get them started even, because Saturn is great for procrastination. Get them started and then do them and get them completed. This is the stitch in time saves 9, so trying to get out in front of problems and malfunctions, repairs, maintenance, whatever it is, before it's really dramatically necessary. The roof needs doing, right? Okay, let's think about the roof long before the roof starts. Well, a little bit maybe before the roof starts leaking. That type of idea, but it might also be to do with health as well. And it might be yours, might be somebody else's, but getting out in front of that as much as you can, because that seems to be the trick with Saturn, getting out in front of that, even though you don't particularly feel the need. And then of course Saturn comes along and starts the transit, and then we start to feel the need, but then we're just that little bit behind. But it's okay, because the Saturn transit likes us to sort of build up something and achieve something very, 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 very slowly. So you are learning how to apply your practical skills, maybe get a business going, maybe get people to know what you can do and share your knowledge with them, maybe even train others, who knows. These challenges make you savvy and push you into wiser choices in the future. And Saturn, you Cancerians born 22nd to the 27th of June, over 0 to 5 degrees rising, and feel the energy the most this month. And then just a mention of Pluto, you Cancerians born the 4th to the 6th of July, or with 12 to 14 degrees rising, and feel the energy the most. And of course that is radical change coming into your life because of radical change going on in another's life, maybe in one important relationship, or maybe in a series of important relationships. And yes, and this will deepen you and make your understanding more profound. And that's it for October. And may I apologize to any of you who may have written to me by email. I'm speaking to you in August, and actually we've just discovered there was a broken link on the website, which has been going on for a while, and now the person that takes care of it is away on holiday, and I'm a technophobe. Well, in some ways I am. And so I'm really hoping that this is going to be fixed soon. So if you have written to me and you didn't get a reply, I'm really sorry, but I didn't see it. So I'm hoping that it'll be all fixed and up and running by the time you are listening to this video. And if you know your moon or your rising sign, listen to those, and also this material, the basics of this material that I've just spoken to you here is written up on my website, DianaGarland.com. And I'll see you the next time.